We're back to Neil Haley Show, and I'm excited to welcome to the program author of the Hollow Man series, audio and every type of book. He's a writer. He owns a publishing company. He owns many different companies. Serial entrepreneur Paul Hollis. Paul, how are you? And we're going to talk about the rise of your brand, especially people need to go buy your books, but talk about the rise of your brand from beginning to end. Let's talk about specifically last year and how this journey came place. I remember you came on my show the first time, and oh man, you didn't know how to promote yourself. I think you know how to promote yourself now, but go ahead, Paul.
Right. Yeah. I last year I saw myself and I felt like every other author in the world that I was struggling having recognition at all levels and it's like I was getting good reviews on my books, but they weren't selling really well. And it was just kind of like flat, and I didn't have the time, and I didn't have the energy or the foresight to actually do good marketing. And so then we connected, you and I connected, and the uh, the brand just took off from there. I mean, you showed me how to do certain things to increase the brand and the brand awareness. And I've now my website went from zero visits basically to six, 800, 1,000 a month now, which is outstanding. I've written blogs almost every day for it, and people are interested. They're giving good feedback on that, and the brand has just kind of grown to sort of, not everybody, but lots of people recognize me now in the industry.
And that's exciting. And that's the thing about a rise of a brand. See, people make a mistake and they go and market a book, and I have, a book or a product or a service, but they don't have a freaking brand. That's the brand is where it's at. So explain when you figured that out, that go figure, because now you're taking and you're finding out that the process is, if people don't respect you as a brand, you might as well not be marketing anything.
That's exactly right. If you don't have a brand, you don't have a persona. You don't have a recognition point for people to for readers to look at and actually go and say, oh, this is the guy that's written the books. This is the person that's written the book. So if you don't have that recognition just from being, oh, I know who this author is, and when you look at the works, then you do Google searches, you do Amazon searches, and what happens is you find a book that kind of looks good, but who's this guy that wrote it? So if you don't have that brand to say, oh, he's done all these things, he's done this and this and this, and he's gotten good reviews and all that sort of thing. If you don't have that, you don't have a platform to base your sales on.
Now let's think about, we kind of go dive deeper into what you talk about, Paul. It's more than that. It's ultimately, you didn't think of yourself as much of a story compared to everyone else. The average everyday person, you're not. You fought terrorism in the 1970s. You're a real life Jason Bourne, or whatever the guy's name is. But you know what I'm saying? So that you are you're not an average everyday person, but everyone is not an average everyday person if they really think about what makes them different, right, Paul? You got to look at your differences when you're marketing too. You can't look like the same old, same old. I'm a best-selling author, I'm this and that, but there's no special secret sauce to who you are.
That's exactly right. My one of my mottos is different is better than better, right? So I know a lot of authors say, well, I'm better than this guy, or I'm better than that girl, or this kind of thing. But what really sets you apart is your difference, the voice that you use in your writing and that sort of thing. So what you're doing then is you're building your own brand even by the voice that you use, kind of thing around there. So you have um, you have to express your differences. I think between you and what makes you different from another author. Not so much greater, better, or have a wonderful background, but what makes you different in your writing and your style, etc. So that's really where I'm at there.
Exactly. It makes you different. And that difference changes the world in so many ways. It gets you out there more and it makes you somebody. And when you're looking at specifically putting stuff out there, you see your LinkedIn, you see all these different places, and people are getting to know you. And they didn't before. And a lot of your book sales a long time ago were just basically the way books were sold then. It's not that anymore. There's so much competition. You have to make a difference out there and be seen, right?
Yeah, when I first published my first book, I think there were less than 1 million titles um, on Amazon for as one example. Now Amazon has 32 million titles out there, as I understand lately. So not all books and things, but 32 million titles. And so how in the world do you make it? How do you stand out from that sort of thing? So yeah, and then therefore the book sales are sporadic across all of those 32 million rather than the 1 million. So obviously we're getting less sales today. It's changed big time.
And that's where you have to have a brand so you get sales. And
Right.
now we're seeing it's going towards the audiobooks. And the two bad things, they don't give you a daily update. So that's something we say. Why is it that you only get a daily update audiobook sales, but audiobooks are more lucrative? And we talked about that on the last podcast, and people all should consider audiobooks. I guess I got to go ahead and we're going to have to hire somebody to do audiobooks, Paul. See, Paul, I
Okay,
always come up with
I think so.
something. I want to corner the market because we will find a way to provide best service for anyone. We're about serving everyone, not just the 1%. But I
Right.
want the 1% contact me today. So go again to the Holloman, HollomanSeries.com to check out Paul Hollis, purchase his books. Go ahead and leave an Amazon review. And there's going to be a series playlist of Paul Hollis on my YouTube channel. We really want you to listen to stuff. As you're a writer, you got to learn from Paul Hollis, and he has his own publishing company as well. And we're going to be having some big news coming up in October. Oh, October is going to be some really surprises to end 2023. Thanks again, Paul, and we'll talk soon. All right, you're
Thank
listening and
you.
watching the Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back in just a moment.